Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home Pilates workout. Today is a weighted full body workout. I'm going to be using a set of 5-pound weights for many of the exercises. If you want to go heavier, if you want to go lighter, it's totally up to you based on your level of strength and the challenge that you're looking for within this workout. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to place my mats to the side of the mat. My weights to the side of the mat. And we're just gonna begin by rolling the shoulders. So we're gonna lift the shoulders up by the ears, inhale, and exhale, roll them down and back. Making some nice exaggerated circles with the shoulders, opening up through the chest as you roll the shoulders down and back. For 3, melt those shoulder blades down. And 2, open through the chest. Last 1, and melt the shoulders down and back. Amazing work. From here, we're going to move into some pull downs. So we're gonna stretch the arms overhead, fingers reaching toward the ceiling, and then pull the elbows in toward the side of the body, drawing the shoulder blades together. Lift and pull down. Really elongate the spine here. Chin is parallel with the floor. And start to really contract those upper back muscles together as you pull the elbows down, growing taller every time you pull down. You may also choose to stand for this upper body work. That's completely fine. And if you are stood, I suggest that you stand with your feet hip distance apart. Being cross-legged is also an option here. Good. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Lengthen out through the fingertips. From here, we're going to start drawing some circles in the air, circling forward, lengthening through those fingertips. Good. Mobilizing the shoulders. Abs are in, shoulders are down away from the ears. Good. Keep circling. Really nice and open through the chest, reverse directions. Circling those arms back, moving with the breath. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the arms down. Now I'm going to take a side view for our weighted work. You can stay facing forward, facing me. Again, I'm going to be down on my knees, but if it's more comfortable for you to stand, please do so. We just want to make sure that we're even across those hips. We're going to begin with some crossover punches. So the weights are held in toward the chest. Now I'm going to cross over the body so that the palm is facing down. Bring the weight in, and then opposite side, cross over the body and back in. Alternating sides. So you want your arm to be at shoulder height here. You want to really plug your navel in toward your spine so you're not kind of hefting your chest forward or your torso forward. You want to lengthen out from that shoulder, nice straight arm, engaging the upper arm muscles. Good, engaging those chest muscles as you cross over. Nice, keep it up. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Bring the arms by the sides, palm facing forward. Now we're going to reach up and move into those pull downs that we were just doing without the weight. So pull down and then push up. Going into some shoulder presses here and lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keeping the elbows in line with the side of the body. Good. Really powering up through those shoulders as you press the weight up. Keeping the chin parallel with the floor. Keeping the spine in neutral. And the crown of the head lifting up toward the ceiling. Good. 2 more. Last 1. And bring the arms back into position for those crossover punches. So we're going right back into those crossover punches, keeping the torso still and stable. We're crossing over, engaging those upper arms. Good. Really give it a lot of energy. Really punch, punch, punch. Nice work. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Last set of those pull downs. We're lifting and drawing the shoulder blades together. Lifting and shoulder blades knit together. Good, really push up through the fists as you raise those weights toward the ceiling. Nice work. Feeling that work mounting in the shoulders, working the muscles here. Give it a lot of energy. We've got 4, 3, keep breathing. 4, 2, and final 1, relax it down. That's the end of that first set. So we're gonna just give the shoulders a couple of rolls, and we're gonna move into another 2 exercises. So for this, we're gonna go into some tricep extensions, and then some tricep push-ups, and then back to the tricep extensions. So we're gonna take both weights together, or you can hold on to one dumbbell if that's more comfortable. We're gonna bring them overhead, and we want to bend at the elbow, framing the face, framing the side of the head with those upper arms, and then extend. Bend, extend. Now your aim here is to keep those upper arms still and stationary because we're targeting the triceps here. So we don't want to let that upper arm move around. We want to focus that work in those triceps, bending and then pushing the weight back up to extension. Core is plugged in, spine is nice and long. Try not to let the chin drop here. You want your chin parallel with the floor. And again, keeping that crown of the head lifted toward the ceiling. Good. We've got 3, 2, last 1. Place the weights off to the side of the mat. And now we're gonna work through 10 tricep push-ups. I'm gonna keep my knees down on the mat. You can go into full push-up extension with the legs if you have the strength to do so. So I'm positioning my hands, fingers are spread. We're gonna keep the elbows in close toward the side of the body as we lower the chest and lift. That's 1. Abs are in for 2. Grazing the side of the body with those upper arms. Good. That's 5, halfway, 5 more. Lower and push up through the heels of the hands for 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Come back onto your knees or your standing position. We're gonna take hold of the weights again, and we're going into those tricep extensions. So bring the weight overhead, elongate through the spine, bend at the elbow, and then lift. Bend, extend. Bend, extend. Good, really focusing on the backs of the arms, doing the work here. Belly is plugged in, backs of the arms are working. Chin is parallel with the floor. Good, we've got 4 and 3. Keep those upper arms stationary for 2 and for 1. Whew. And we're finished with that set. Give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. Nice work. Now we're gonna go into some bicep curls with some push-ups, but we're gonna change the position of our hands for the push-ups. So I'd like you to lock your upper arms into the side of the body, palms facing forward. We're gonna bend at the elbow, bringing the weight toward the shoulders. Lower, don't completely straighten the arm, and then bend, keeping that upper arm glued to the side of the body. Don't let that upper arm move around. Really focus on contracting those biceps as you bring the weight toward the shoulders and as you lower the weight down. So you're keeping those biceps switch on. You're working with your body's own resistance. Good. Never letting the weight just kind of flop down to the side, controlling it throughout the entire range of movement. Really flexing those biceps, bringing the weight to the shoulders, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears, nice long relaxed neck. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Whew. Okay, place the weight off to the side. So now we're going back into those push-ups, but this time we're gonna take the elbows wide away from the body. So knees are on the floor or you're in your full push-up position. We are going to plug navel in, lower, nice wide elbows, and push up through the heels of the hands. Lower, elbows come out to the sides, and we lift. Using different muscles here, working into the chest a little bit too. And 5, halfway, 5 more. Lower, push up through the heels of the hands. Last one, and lift up. Nice work. Now we're going back into those bicep curls. So holding the weight, palms facing out in front, and upper arms locked in toward the side of the body. Not totally straightening the arms, keeping the resistance with a slight bent elbow at the bottom of the movement, and then pulling the weight right back up to those shoulders. Abs are engaged, spine is nice and long. Good. We've got 4, 3, work those biceps, 2, and 1. Whew, we are done with that set. Amazing. Okay, from here, we're going to come down on the mat, and we're going to get into some ab work here. We're still going to be working the arms, but also focusing on the core as well. So lower down so that you're nice and comfortable in the center of your mat. We're going to bring the arms up overhead. Palms are facing in toward each other. Now, just to practice the movement before we add the leg work, we're going to keep the upper arms stationary, going into a skull crusher, and then lift. So you're lowering the weights to either side of the face and then lifting. Try not to let those upper arms move around. From here, we're bringing the legs into tabletop. We're going to tap the toes as we bring the weights to the side and then extend, tightening the core, straightening the arms. Tap, bend the elbows, extend. Tap the toes to the mat, extend, belly to spine. Tap, push the weight up and extend. Point hard through those toes. Tap, extend, abs in. Tap, extend. Good. We've got 5, 4, core engaged. 3, 2, and 1. Relax the weight down to the side of the mat. Take your knees in towards your chest. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now, for this next exercise, you've got 2 options for level of challenge. So level 1, you've got your weights like so and your knees bent. As you tap one leg, one toe down to the mat, you're bringing the weight to the side of the body, then lifting, hinging from the hip, then tapping opposite toe down to the mat, hinging from the hip and lifting. For the next level of challenge, more challenging, you're going to have those legs extended. So we're going to lower and lift, lower the leg and the weight and lift. So choose your level, bent knees or straight legs. I'm going to go into the straight leg version. Arms are over the shoulders. We're going to lower and lift, hinging from the hip. Lower, abs in and lift. Keep those arms nice and straight here. Again, you don't want to be sort of flopping the arm down. You want to keep that resistance on the arm as you lower and lift. So we're working the upper body, working those lower abs too. Lower and lift. We've got 4, 3, belly to spine, 2, abs in, and 1, lift it up. Lower your feet down to the floor. Amazing work. You can drop the weights off to the side of the mat. Bring the knees into the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Now we're going to go into a version of the roll up. So we're going to bring the legs straight or slightly bent for an easier option. We're going to roll up. And as we do so, we're bringing the legs down to the mat, bending the knees, then sliding the legs back and extending. So we're lowering, lifting the weights up, bending at the knees, sliding the legs in, and lifting the legs toward the ceiling. Good. Move slowly here. Good. Moving with control, sliding the heels towards you and then extending the legs up long. Controlling it with the abs throughout the entire range of movement. Stretching and lengthening at the top. Good. Lifting those arms, bending at the knees, and extending. Lifting up, using your core strength in a nice fluid motion. Good, 2 more. Last one. Amazing work. Lower your legs down to the mat. We're going to go into a roll up now. We're going to bring the weights together overhead, palms facing in toward each other. We're going to roll up, and as we do so, we're just going to bring the right knee in bend the right knee in and twist over to the right side. Then extend both legs out long and roll down. Now roll up, left knee comes in, we twist over to the left, slide the leg down and roll the upper body down. Lift, cross over, straighten the leg and roll it down. Lift, cross over to the opposite side and roll it down. Now your aim here is not to let that opposite hip lift off the mat as you twist. Use your upper abs to roll up and your obliques to twist. Good, alternating sides. Sliding leg into bent position and then straightening it out as you roll down. Again, a nice fluid motion. All of these exercises take a little coordination, so be patient with yourself as you get into the flow. And lower it down. Amazing work. Now we're going to roll all the way up. Place the weights off to the side for a moment. Hold on to the backs of the thighs and just stretch the spine, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. In through the nose, really lengthen, stacking the vertebra. Out through the mouth. Nice. Now we're going to go into some Russian twists. We're going to hold onto the weights here. We're going to bring the weights in so that they're touching each other, or you can hold on to one weight. The spine is nice and long. We're going to C curve back, engaging the core, and then we're going to twist, keeping both hips evenly weighted as we twist from side to side, keeping that tension on the abs. Try to keep your legs parallel, so try not to move around in the lower body. We're trying to isolate this work in the torso, so in the waistline, working into those obliques as we twist from side to side. If you can, lean back a little bit more, increasing the level of challenge. Keeping the heels connected with the floor. These are tough. We've got 5, 4, 3, to twist as deeply as you can, 2, and 1. Back to center. Amazing. Okay, grab a hold of the backs of your thighs again and just take a moment here to stretch out the spine. Really push your hands into the back of the legs and stack each vertebra, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good work. Now we're gonna roll down on the mat, bringing the weights with us, and we're gonna switch our focus onto the glutes and thighs. So we are bending our knees here. Legs are hip distance apart. Knees are parallel, feet are parallel, and we want our heels just below the knees. I'm gonna take my weights, one on either thigh. If it gets too much at any point, you can lose the weights. So we're going to peel up into a bridge, holding the weight in place and holding, squeezing the glutes for 3, for 2, for 1. Lower, just hover the bum off the floor and lift back up. Squeeze for 3, for 2, for 1, and lower, just hover. Push those hips right back up for 3. Squeeze the bum, 2, and 1. Lower and lift. Abs in, glute squeeze, 2, and 1. Lower down, 3, 2, and 1. So I really want you to focus on squeezing those glutes, engaging that core as you come up for a 3-second hold. 1, 2, 3. Lower, just hover. Push those hips right back up. 2, and 1, and lower. 3 more sets. 1, 2, 3, and lower. 2 more sets. And lower. Last set. 1, 2, 3, and hold at the top of the lift. Now we're going to go into some knee abductions here, so take the knees really nice and wide, coming out onto the outside of your feet. Keep the hips elevated, and then back to parallel. Abduct, and back to parallel. Keep the weight there if you can. Good. Opening the knees, and then bringing them back to parallel. Working those side glutes, working the booty, working the thighs. Engage that core. Keep the hips elevated. Good. Whew, these are tough. We've got 6, 5, keep those hips elevated. 4, abs in for 3, and 2, and 1, and relax it down. I'm going to place my weights off to the side of my mat for a moment and just hug both knees in toward my chest, right hand over right knee, left hand over left knee, and just circle your knees in opposite directions before we come up and do another challenging move in bridge. Okay, so from here I'm lowering both feet down onto the floor. I'm going to really pick up the intensity by doubling up 2 weights on my right thigh. If 2 weights is too much, just do 1. So I'm going to kind of position them so they're one in front of the other. From here, I'm leaving enough space over my knee that I can cross my left leg over my right. And then we're just going to elevate. So make any adjustments you need to. You want your right heel under your right knee, and you want your hips level. We're going to lower and push up through the right heel. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Lower, drive up through the right heel, really squeeze the bum at the top of the lift. Keep those hips even. We don't want one side dropping. Good. We've got 6, 5, engage the core. 3, drive up through that heel. For 2, and for 1, amazing work. Now switch sides, bring the weights over to that left leg. Cross the right leg over the left leg, heel below the knee as we come up, making sure we're in a nice stable position, and then going into the lower and lifts. Lower and lift, driving up through that left heel now. Good, lower and lift. Inhale and exhale. We've got 6, push up, 5, you can do it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift and lower down. Good work. Now we're going to come over onto our sides. We're only going to need 1 weight. Get yourself nice and comfortable on your side body. We're going to do some inner thigh work. Weight is optional here. I'm going to place. First of all, let's set ourselves up. So we want to prop our head up either like so or like so. We want to stack our hips, stack our ankles, and we're just gonna pick the legs up and just hinge slightly from the hip, bringing the feet forward. So we're in a pike position. Now from here, if you're using the weight, I suggest that you put your bridged leg behind you, but if it's more comfortable, it can come in front as well. Okay, I'm going to place the weight on my inner thigh, and from here, we're going to lift and lower. We're going to hold at the top of every lift. Lift, squeeze the inner thigh, and lower. Lift, squeeze the inner thigh, and lower. I think I'm going to try it with that foot forward. Yeah, I like it better that way. Make any little adjustments you need to. Get comfortable. Actually, no, it does block the range of movement, so I'm going to keep it behind. Lift, hold, and squeeze, and lower. Lift, hold, and squeeze with that inner thigh, and lower. Lift, and lower. So it feels a little awkward, but I can also feel the work happening in that inner thigh. Focus your mind on that inner thigh, lifting the leg. Good. Inner thigh should be facing up toward the ceiling. Squeeze those muscles at the top of the lift. That little hold and squeeze at the top is what really makes it burn. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Now we're going to flex the foot. Same thing again, but we're going to move a little bit more quickly. So we're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. Good. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Last 10. 10, 9. Leading up with that heel. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, hold, hold. Squeeze and lower down. Ugh, that was hard. Okay, inner thigh is burning. Now lift yourself up. We're going to come over to the opposite side. Lower down on your mat. Set yourself up. So we're stacking those hips, abs are engaged, stacking the ankles, picking up the feet, coming forward with those feet. And now we're placing the weight, or not if it's too much, on the inner thigh, and we're pointing the toe. Lift, squeeze that inner thigh muscle, and lower. Lift and lower. Lift, hold, and lower. Good. Lift and hold and lower with control. Notice I'm actually not letting my foot completely touch down to the mat. I'm keeping it hovering just above the floor, keeping that tension on the inner thigh muscle throughout the entire range of movement. Good. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Hold and lower. All the work happening in the inner thigh here, so really make sure those muscles are switched on and you're conscious of them working. Good. Lift and lower for 2 and 1. Relax it down. Now, flexed foot leading up with the heel. We've got 20 lifts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, keep the leg long, 2 and 1, last 10, 9, 8, 7, get that heel up there, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, hold, 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 and lower down. Amazing. Let's bring ourselves up to a seated position. Get rid of your weights, you don't need them anymore. We're going to stretch now. So let's bring the feet together. Ooh, those inner thighs really need a stretch. Okay, so grab a hold of your feet, your ankles, nice and tall and stacked through the vertebra, and then we're just going to hinge forward, drawing the knees down toward the mat, stretching out those inner thighs. Breathing deeply. It feels painful. Not painful, it feels uncomfortable. It should never feel painful, but just alleviating some of that tension in the inner thigh muscles after we just worked them. Can feel a little bit uncomfortable, but also is very necessary. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice, lift up, bring one foot in towards your inner thigh, and we're going to lift the arms up and fold over, reaching and stretching toward the foot. Getting a nice side body stretch in, lengthening through the leg, reach a little further still for 3 and 2 and 1. Restack the vertebra. Bring opposite foot in toward opposite thigh and fold and lengthen. A little bit of a hip crack there. Reaching and stretching. Stretch a little further for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Bring yourself back up. You can cross your legs. We're going to lift the shoulders up by the ears. Inhale and exhale, roll them down and back. Let's take another one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open through the chest. Last one, shrug and melt away any tension, and we are done. Thank you so much for joining me and for all your hard work. I hope you enjoyed that workout, and I look forward to moving again with you next time. Bye.